Hi, my name's William, and this is the Oakajee Port Rail presentation given by Group 31.
When construction is about to begin, stakeholders' interests and needs are very important. Stakeholders will be provided with different level of information in order to keep them engaged, informed, or satisfied while implementing their inputs into the project.
Risk management is the practice of outlining all the foreseeable risks within a project. In order to fully manage the possible risks, they must be identified, analysed both qualitatively and quantitatively. The likelihood and impact then need to be identified before using the risk matrix shown here to identify the risk level. A mitigation strategy should then be outlined to, at the very least, inhibit the risk while having the ultimate goal of eliminating it entirely. The mitigated risk level can then be identified once the strategy is employed and further monitoring is required. Shown here are some of the risks outlined in the risk management plan for the assignment itself, as well as for the pre-construction phase of the project as seen in the associated images. These risks largely involve the initial planning of the project, taking into account the schedule, budget, required resources, environmental considerations, and work health and safety. And shown here are some of the risks outlined in the risk management plan for the construction and post-construction phases of the project. These mainly dealing with the hazards that may arise while constructing the port and rail system, as well as after the construction, which involves the continued use of the port.
Hello, I'm Adrian. I'll be presenting the costing section of the Oakajee project presentation. The Oakajee Port Rail is a huge project for Western Australia. Such a large investment of almost $10 million is renowned for its threats, opportunities, impacts, and risks. As displayed in the cost forecast displayed on the slide, 1. Project supervision, which includes project directors, project managers, for example. 2. Project services. 3. Electrical, which includes IPP, fire systems, CCTV. And 4. Civil, made up almost half of the entire project cost, as displayed graphically in the pie chart, which is a large cost for only 4 components. However, this will yield the greatest result in the finest end quality for stakeholders, investors, and partners, as they are arguably the most crucial components for a smooth project lifestyle and delivery.
It is important for the project to be subjected to all normal environmental processes and approvals before construction commences. To ensure the success of the project, in our project management plan, mitigation and control measures need to be taken for protecting fauna and flora, reducing noise pollution, minimizing impacts on surface water, groundwater and soil, managing toxic materials and waste, and controlling climate change. Some implemented strategies are listed below. During construction, workers could face some work health and safety risks. Therefore, prior to construction, management strategies need to be implemented to identify potential risks. Potential issues workers are exposed to on site include operating heavy equipment, manual labor, working with chemicals and toxic materials, heavy lifting, and dust inhalation.
Breaking down work into smaller tasks allows work to be more manageable and approachable. A work breakdown structure clearly demonstrates the relationship between the project deliverables and the scope. Our work breakdown structure is shown in the diagram on the right, with the pre-construction and procurement sections outlined here. The construction and post-construction sections of our work breakdown structure is outlined here. All phases in the project are broken down into smaller parts, which were defined in the work breakdown structure. The tasks are linked to each other, with the critical task shown in the Gantt chart as red. Our project has an estimated completion time of 212 days. Assumptions have to be made to be able to plan effectively. The assumptions we have made in our project is that the workday will be 8 hours and there will be 5 working days in a week. We have also assumed that there will be no issues with resources and equipment. To counter the event that there are any issues, we have added 10 days of leverage contingency at the end of the project.
The control and monitor to analyze the progress of a construction schedule, status of task, updating schedule, tracking funds and overhead costs, and delivery status. Key performance indicators, or KPI for short, are a range of parameters that measure the progress of a project, which helps to understand if the project is diverging from its original baseline. Other KPIs are listed on the left, since time and cost are the main focus of this slide. Measures are the controls and monitors to prevent or minimize the associated risk from happening. As shown in the table, MJ Raw has listed the quality control and assurance associated with the project by analyzing and discussing the methods that can be implemented to measure and verify the elements of the project and preventing risk and issues from occurring. Handover is where all documentation and management role are handed over to the client after completion of construction as well as operation of systems satisfying the customer's need. However, there may be issues that arise from handover. Thus, MJ Raw has identified the need and potential issues that comes from handover, as well as shown in the table. These points in the table are the important and most obvious. There are more needs and issues that come from handover. Commissioning is the final phase in the completion of construction, where all systems and subsystems are tested for their performance. During this phase, there are plenty of issues that can be prompted, such as delayed in schedule, lack of owner-furnished equipment, uncompleted training, and system does not function as intended. In the next slide is where issues can arise from our project during commissioning. Tasks such as testing out causeway and breakwater are meant to help protect vessels from wind and water action. So to keep this possible, MJ Raw suggests supervising the progress and using improved documentation such as standards, guidelines, and detailed plans to help with the construction of it. There are plenty of more tasks that needs to be commissioned before handover. This is just to name some tasks that needs to be tested. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.